everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today is the 26th, the little street vlog for 26th of January 2020. I'm just going to adjust in the background. My leg, sorry for the lower angle, my leg has pins and needles, and I think I'm going to stay here for the rest of my life now. Wouldn't y'all like that? So, today's final vlog, I guess, if it be like that. So we're in Brisbane today. It was just more of a training night, so got paired up with a few other people, which is always good fun, but a lot shorter, a lot quicker night, which is good just because it keeps you fresh and on your toes and really valuing that time that you have out on the street. So first I had a chat with a guy who was a Catholic Irish background. He thought only the sexually pure would get to heaven, which was quite interesting. Those who have never done anything, you know what sexually pure means. He listed them out, and I was like, well, that excludes probably a lot of the world population. So he named some of Bart Ehrman's book. I think he was identifying as an atheist now. Didn't get to the creation argument, but I did mention it by name. He referenced the watchmaker argument and kind of like Pascal's wager in a sense as well. And one thing he brought up out of Bart Ehrman's work was like the dating of Jesus' resurrection is different in Luke compared to John, and I was like, well, that's quite easily explainable. First of all, they weren't concerned as with dates and times, as long as it was more so the events and what the events meant to them. That was considered good history in a way. They weren't like super specific, like we have variants of other stories from that time where dates move back and forth by like 5 months or so and stuff like that. So in terms of dating, I'm not as concerned with the dating of John because Luke is so specific and so detailed in that sense, and Luke is what I would point to as our, in a sense, our someone who's really looking for those specific dates, moments, times, etc, etc. That's why I'd point to Luke for. John, if you're looking for dates, moments, times, super high details, you're most likely not going to find that in John. So he pointed that out as one of the issues with the Bible, and that's what he said was a contradiction, which, cool, good on him. For those wondering, Luke almost presents, to the best of my knowledge, I gotta look through it again, presents the resurrection, the days after the time after the resurrection, as pretty much one day, from the sounds of it, though I believe it's Luke. I had to jump in because Luke is normally the most firm in those details, so that's why I kind of supplied Luke and John, because I think I remember someone else talked about it, so I'm saying Luke and John for that reason. While Luke presents it more as a month afterwards. And so in terms of date and time, I'm not too concerned because we have that in Luke. John is more of a storyteller base. I'm fine with that. It's not in my mind a contradiction, it's just a different format for two different authors in a way. I had a chat with some Thai girls, offered to take a photo. That's how we kind of got into the conversation. There was a big English barrier. They mostly wanted directions for a city hopper, which we eventually gave, and well, we got to getting around to got tracked before they needed to go, so that was cool. And I had a chat with another gal. She had an English barrier. She didn't really believe in anything. She got tracked a bit of the law, but not too much gospel. I can't remember too well because I kind of was writing down a conversation and then jumped into another conversation with someone else. Had a chat with two, yes, they were, sorry, I'm just trying to remember all the people that we chatted with. Actually, a lot of people in comparison to like yesterday, which was awesome. Chat with two people who didn't believe in God, English barrier, so we needed a bit of Google Translate. Google Translate is so good, it's so good. A bit of their sin, a bit of a gospel. Needed to run for the bus, so I both gave them a track. They were Chinese background. I kind of found that tonight. I felt pretty much aside from like the last conversation, it was very like a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, judging by the person's comprehension that they already had. Had a chat with two people. Oh yeah, two. I'm gonna say Asian background, but I can't remember. Believed in God. They were playing Pokemon Go on their phone with their daughter, and they were up to like level 40, and their daughter was up to level 32, and I was like, bruh, I'm only up to like level 12, I think. So good on y'all. So I got to chat with the dad as he's like doing a Pokemon battle for one of the gyms in the area. Believed in God, realized he would go to hell. Eventually used the track as an explainer due to English issues, realized his situation would send him to punishment, and he said he would really think about it with urgency, so please pray that he does. Had another chat with a Catholic raised gal, realized, this one was really cool because we pretty much went from the whole way through. I was like, finally a conversation. I'm just going from start to finish on something that I'm used to. Woo. She realized the futility of her works really quickly. She kind of said she was Catholic, but like she wasn't too committed to it, so I wish I'd quizzed her more on it. And she said she was ready to trust right then and there. Left with the track, then her friend came over, so she needed to go. Had a chat with two Sunni Muslims. This conversation was really cool because it was just really, I didn't feel out of control, those gals didn't feel out of control. We were just vibing and we were just chatting and really casual, really pointing out the little issues in each other's arguments. I do have to go back to some of R.C. Sproul's work to really revise the whole idea. Is that justice? Is that fair? That's the word that they use. Is that fair for Jesus to take our punishment? In a way, you know, it's fulfilling justice. It is so merciful to me, and I am so thankful that Jesus took that punishment. But that's a side thing. Anyway, back to the conversation. There were Sunni Muslims. They kept referencing in our religion. I felt like they were really afraid to say Islam in a sense, and I'm like, I can look at you and clearly see you're Islamic. But yeah, thought that repentance would save them, and so there was this big back and forth about justice and stuff like that. And ultimately, I think what I just came up with this on the spot. Ultimately, what helped them really realize was an unrepentant man standing before a judge, a repentant man standing before a judge. They're both guilty of the same crime. Unrepentant, repentant, I think that's how we sorted it. They will both be punished. Your job is to avoid punishment. Doesn't matter if you're good at repentance, doesn't matter if you're bad at repentance. You're still going to get punished in either of these scenarios. None of this help you. And so they completely switched their mind worldview after that. That was like, I was like head spin kind of vibes, to an idea that they would go to hell for a limited time before ascending to heaven. I was kind of questioning that. I was like, what says you stop sinning in hell? And both Jesus and Moses affirmed that you need to be perfect to get to heaven, which I didn't use as much. Normally I use that and really go into detail, but we agreed that neither of us are perfect, neither of us. No one deserves heaven. We failed that standard by our own merit. And so the idea was, how can we still get to heaven while maintaining God's justice and God's mercy? And I kind of watched in their eyes as they realized that's not merciful and that's not just, and realizing that's not merciful to the victims of one's sin and stuff like that. And they were trying to pull up stuff here and there, which I'll really have to look through. But yeah, it was a really great conversation. I wish all Muslim conversations were like that. Just really casual, really sweet. I wish we had more time to chat, but hey, I was already over time. And then I gave the villager analogy, and I don't know if I've explained it on here before. I think I have, but if I haven't, remind me for a later video. But yeah, it was just really awesome to show that in a way. But yeah, by the end they were like, is that fair? Is that really fair? And I wanted to explain how to, but then they had to go. So I got to give them a tract and pray that they keep questioning. So yeah, that was all for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Please keep all the people in your prayers. Thanks for watching.